All right, so today I've got my yoga mat and my yoga block, but you don't need any of that. You can sit directly on the floor. You can sit on a chair if that feels good. You can also put a pillow down here if that feels good for you as well. So let's get started. So find yourself in a comfortable seated position. And I like to sit on the block or something elevated because it takes the pressure off my knees for a little bit. But make sure you're nice and comfortable. And then sitting up tall, rest your arms wherever you like. Today we're going to be working on our hips and legs, doing lots of active flex exercises and mobility exercises for those regions. As always, just pay attention to your injuries. If you have any injuries, don't push yourself through anything that's not going to feel good. And make sure that you're breathing. Oh, also, if I say like, let's do 10 reps of something and you're really struggling through them and you can't do them as many as happening, just do like as many as you can with good alignment and try to have fun. All right, so we'll have arms resting wherever you like, sitting up tall. And I like to start with taking 2 deep breaths, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, and just centering yourself in the room wherever you are. And then we're going to use our chin to stir a slow circle. And you can keep your jaw open or closed for this, but try to keep the rest of your body still. And in fact, if you notice any other parts of your body getting tense, try to relax them and just check in with your neck. And still breathing normal, reverse the direction of the circle, using your chin to draw that circle all the way around. And then finally float your head back to center, and then rock your head ear to shoulder, allowing your head to fall heavy to each side. And remembering to bring your ear to your shoulder and not the other way around. So no scrunching of the shoulder into the ear. And you can take it slower than I'm doing as well. Just check in with your neck, breathing normal. And then bring your head back to center. We're going to place our hands right beside our face, like pretty close, so you can bring your cheek to your hand right and left. I always get little creaking noises in my neck when I do this one, so I know it's a good one to do. And just breathe normal. Excellent. And then place your fingertips lightly behind your ears. On your next inhale, you're going to open your elbows wide, expanding your chest full of air. And then exhale, bring your elbows all the way back to touch, emptying out all of the air. And then keep breathing in this way at your own speed. Use your breath. One more deep breath in and out. And then place your fingertips to your shoulders and stir your elbows all the way around. But try not to move the rest of your body.
Bad.
What is it?
Nothing.
Oh. Reverse your circles. And don't forget to breathe. And then stepping here, flip the arms out and hug yourself, switching the arm that's on top each time. And then float your arms out to the side, open and close your fists as fast as you can. Don't forget to breathe. And if you're opening and closing them faster, maybe you can open and close them faster up to the sky, arms right by your ears. I mean, keep opening and closing and draw circles with your arms. Try to keep your rib cage from moving around. Also breathe. Keep those fists opening and closing. Reverse the direction of your circles. Whew. And then finally, float your arms down and rest. And take a deep breath. If your legs are crossed, we're going to uncross them and place the other one on top. And then sitting up tall again. Bring your arms up right beside your ears. Spread your fingers wide. And then you're going to imagine your fingers are on like a window pane, and you're going to smear something down the window pane as you pull your elbows down. And while you do this, make sure your rib cage is not poking out. You've got tight abs. Using your exhale to pull the elbows down. Oh, my cats are having a altercation. Alternate right and left. Smearing something down that window. Smear. How's it going, Puma? Okay, then stop with the arms out. We're going to bring them in and out. And perhaps you can feel your back muscles working as you bring them out. So squeeze. Don't forget to breathe. Stop with the arms out. We're going to twist right and left. Take it slowly and watch what your fingers, and maybe you can spread them wider again if they've come on maybe close together. Get that nice stretch in your fingers. And then stopping here, elbows in and out, biceps. Also breathe. And then stopping here finally to relax. Take a deep breath. All right, so we're gonna set the soles of the feet onto the floor. It's still okay if you're sitting in your chair or you're on the floor or you're on your block or cushion. So feet are onto the floor. I'm gonna scoot back so you can see my feet. Doo-doo-doo. All right, so try to keep your legs hip distance and your toes facing forward. You can relax your arms wherever you like, hands rest, and try to lift all of your toes up and down at the same time. So something like this might be happening. Try to keep the balls of the feet onto the floor and just stretch all of the toes, I almost said fingers, the toes up to the sky, and just breathe. Notice if your knees are wobbling out to the side, try to keep them in line. If that's working out for you, try to alternate right and left, lifting and lowering one at a time. Don't forget to breathe. You might notice maybe your shoulders are up like this. Try to relax your shoulders. And then stopping here, we're gonna lift just the big toes up and down. So this might not work out for you. You might have to hold the rest of the toes down to get it going, and that's totally fine. One day those toes will listen, and they will lift and lower. If that's working out for you, you can try alternating right and left. And always noticing whatever's happening in your body. If you have any tension that has come up in your shoulders, try to relax the shoulders. And then keeping the big toes on the floor, stretching the rest of the toes up and away. And sometimes this happens to my feet when I try to lift them, so we try to keep the foot onto the floor and just stretch the toes up. So again, if you need help, you can totally hold the big toes down.
Don't move.
And if nothing happens, just try to engage the muscle. One day they'll lift. Maybe you alternate right and left if that's working out. Also breathe. Okay, I think that's enough of that. All right, we're gonna scoop our fingers underneath our right knee. Definitely, again, try not to have the shoulders in the ears. We're gonna stretch the ankle, point, and flex. And just breathe. Again, you can go slower, faster, whatever you like. And then start to draw circles with your toes all the way around. And then reverse your circle. Breathe in. And then finally flip that leg down. We'll take a resting breath in and out. All right, the fingers underneath that left leg, lift it up. Hold it without having any tension in your shoulders. And then point and flex. And I apologize, this is my noisy one, so You might hear lots of popping and cracking. Maybe yours is the same as mine. And then draw your circles all the way around. Reverse your circle. And then finally, float that leg down and we'll take a rest. Deep breath. And then make sure that your legs are still in a parallel position in line with your hips, knees in line with hips, toes facing forward. Hands will rest onto the knees. On your next inhale, stretch your chin up to the sky and look up. And then in your next exhale, you're gonna sink back and make a concave shape with your body. So inhaling up, just like you're doing cow pose. And then exhale, sink back, just like cat pose. Do 2 more using your breath. Filling your chest up full of air, and then exhale, letting it all go. Once all of the air is gone, come back to your neutral spine and take a resting breath in and out. All right, it's time for our hands and knees position. So if you're on that block position or you're on the chair, time to get off. You can toss it aside. And then come to your hands and knees. And we're gonna make sure our tabletop position is nice and sturdy. So fingers spread wide onto the floor, arms right underneath your shoulders, knees are under your hips, and your feet are parallel behind you. Tops of the toes should be resting on the floor. So sometimes feet are like this, but try to stretch the ankles and point the toes a little bit if you can. And then find our center by shifting the weight forward and backward a few times. Before you find yourself centered equally between your palms and your knees. And then stretch your right leg back, straight leg, pointed toe. Oh, sorry, flexed foot. All right, imagine you're kicking energy out through that heel. Feel your abs engaged, pulling your belly button deep toward your spine, and lift this leg up and down for 8. 7 with a straight leg. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then find your max here. Kick and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then keep it there. We're gonna bend the knee, flex that foot, kick the sky for 8, 7, there it is, 6, 5, 4, inhale, exhale, 2, 1, and then externally rotate your leg from the hip and draw 4 giant circles with your knee. Stay strong, use your breath. You might feel some crunchies and pops and cracks in your hip, and that's totally normal. Reverse your circles, using your breath. And then float your leg down, and we'll sink into a child's pose. So hips onto the heels, arms outstretched in front, forehead onto the floor. Take 2 deep breaths. All right, we're gonna roll up through our spine and end up on our knees. So try to keep your hips onto your heels as much as you can. Chin into chest, roll it out. If this feels terrible, you can sit yourself up like this, or we're just gonna clasp the fists together and circle our wrists around so we can have another go on our hands and knees. So just breathe. Reverse your circle. And then shake it out. And let's make our way back. Hands and knees position. Arms underneath shoulders, knees under hips, fingers spread wide onto the floor. If you need to, shift your weight forward and backward a few times before you find your center. And then in your center, engage your abs. Left leg stern, send it back, straight leg, flexed foot. Again, you're trying to shoot that energy out through your heel. Lift and lower your leg for 8, 7, 6, 5, keep breathing, 4, belly button to spine, 3, 2, last one, find your max and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bend your knee. Kick the sky up for 8, Ooh, where is it? 7, there it is. 6, 5, 4, inhale, exhale, 2, 1, and then finally externally rotate that leg from your hip, draw 4 giant circles all the way around. Don't forget to breathe. Woo. And then reverse your circles. When you're done, float that leg down, sink yourself into your child's pose, and relax for 2 deep breaths. Let it all go. All right, let's do another roll up. Keep your hips onto your heels as much as you can. Chin into chest, roll back up through your spine, back to the knees. Again, if this feels terrible, you can sit yourself up like this. But we're gonna clasp the fists together, the fingers together, and make a wave this time. And just breathe. You think about the ocean. You know, it's snowy outside today. Weird. Reverse the direction. And then shake it out. All right, let's go back to our hands and knees. Stacked underneath your joints. Once again, fingers spread wide onto the floor. Feet are parallel behind you. This time we're gonna tuck the toes under. My feet are so cranky. All right, take a deep breath. On your exhale, push your hips up into the sky, straightening your legs if you can, downward dog. And then when you get there, start to lift and lower your heels, one at a time, right and left. Kind of shifting your hips side to side, getting some motion. Keep pushing the floor away with your palms and your fingertips. Also breathe. All right, let's do both of those heels at the same time. Up and down. Pushing the floor away with the balls of the feet to lift the heels as high as possible. Also bonus if you can feel your quad muscles engaging to stretch the legs straight. Breathe. All right, find a stillness in this downward dog. Take 2 deep breaths. Actively pushing the floor away, reaching your heels to the floor and stretching your hips up to the sky. And then soften your knees to place them back onto the floor. Bring your toes together, sink your hips onto your heels, and relax in a child's pose for 2 deep breaths. All right, then back up to hands and knees we go. All right, make sure you're stacked underneath your joints. You've got parallel feet behind you, toes tucked back under. All right, take a deep breath in. Exhale back into downward dog. When you get there, take another deep breath. All right, we're gonna stretch our right leg behind us with a straight leg pointed toe. And careful not to lift that hip. So sometimes the hip can come up like this. So if that has happened, pull your belly button deep toward your spine so your 2 hips are back in line. And then squeeze your right glute and pulse your leg up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then fold that leg down and rest in your downward dog for a deep breath. All right, let's do our left leg. Here we go. Send it back, straight leg, pointed toe. Again, if the hip comes up, pull your belly button deep toward your spine. Get the 2 hips in line. Squeeze your left glute and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Float that leg down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, knees back to the floor. Tops of the toes rest onto the floor. Bring your toes together. Sink your hips onto your heels. Child's pose. Relax. 2 deep breaths. All right, keeping your hips onto your heels as much as you can. Chin into chest. Roll up your spine. All right, we're going to hang out on our knees again for a bit. So if this feels terrible, just Sit yourself up like this. This time we're gonna take a book with palms facing in toward you, and you're gonna fold pinkies in, ring finger, and other fingers follow. Gentle pressure on the back of your palm and rolling it all the way around. A little bit of a massage for our hands so we can go into a plank. I'm gonna reverse your circle. Don't forget to breathe. Also, while I'm here, if you're up like me, you can squeeze your glutes to press the hips forward a little bit. Nice hip flexor stretch. Okay, then shake it out. All right, let's go back to our hands and knees. Spreading your fingers wide onto the floor. Parallel feet behind you. Tuck your toes under. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hips back up into downward dog. When you get there, take a deep breath. All right, we're going to our plank pose. Take another deep breath in. On your exhale, shift your weight forward, find your plank pose. Making sure your arms are still underneath your shoulders, squeeze your glutes. Send energy out through your heels. Take a deep breath. All right, we're gonna try to send our right leg underneath us, across to the left side of our body with a straight leg. And so you can see I have a flexed foot here. If that has worked out for you, you're gonna send your left arm up to the sky. Inhale, 2 deep breaths. Every time you inhale, you're gonna stretch up even taller. And then float that left hand down. Place your right back into that plank. Lower the hips to the floor. Tops of the toes rest. Find your child's pose. 2 deep breaths. All right, hips onto the heels, chin into chest, roll up through your spine. And all the way up so we can shake out our hands. Let's do that other side. So coming back to hands and knees. Arms underneath shoulders, knees under hips. Here we go, tuck the toes under. Deep breath in. Exhale, downward dog. All right, and then take another deep breath in. Exhale your way back to your plank pose. My hair is all over the place. All right, in your plank pose, take another deep breath, again, sending that energy out through your heels. Try to keep the legs straight, engaging your quad muscles. And then left leg's turn. We're gonna send it underneath our body, to the back, across to the right. If that has worked out for you, flex to your foot. This time, right arm reaches up to the sky. 2 deep breaths. Every inhale lifts up higher. Maybe on your exhale, you twist a little more. And then float your right hand back. Step that left foot back. Bend your knees. Take a deep breath in. Exhale back to downward dog. Take a deep breath. All right, let's go down to our child's pose. Soften your knees. Place your knees to the floor. Tops of the toes rest onto the floor. Sink back into your child's pose and rest. 2 deep breaths. All right, last roll up. Here we go. Chin into chest, belly button and spine, roll it up. Hopefully everyone's doing pretty good. We're gonna find our seated position, this time completely onto the floor. So all the way down. And try to find the soles of the feet together. Allow your knees to fall out to the side. And if you can, pull the heels a little bit closer, sit up tall, and start to rock right and left. And as you rock, you might notice your hips are tight. You might have legs up here. So if that's happening and you feel your shoulders in your ears, try to just relax as much as you can and breathe. We're gonna turn this into a circular motion, leading with your chest. It's almost like you're gonna put your chin into your computer, or your chin onto me. And again, notice if your shoulders have wandered into your ears. Try to keep them relaxed down. And then reverse the direction of your circle. Okay, I'm tugging a little bit with my arms, but I'm not like really like going crazy about it. I'm mostly trying to get the motion from my hips here, leading with my chest, making that circle. Do 2 more, and then find your center. And just take 2 deep breaths. Okay, this last one is my absolute favorite active flex exercise for your legs. We're gonna need a small V position. So a small V with your legs, I'll scoot back so you can see everything that's going on. And always stay sitting up tall. We're gonna relax this right foot for just a moment. We're gonna use our left foot first. So turning over to your left foot, fingertips will be pressing down onto the floor on either side of this left leg. Engage the muscles of your left leg, flexing your foot. We're gonna lift and lower this leg up and down for 8. We're gonna pull the top for 8, and then we're gonna hold strong for 8. So if nothing happens, if the leg does not lift, just engage this quad muscle, and eventually the leg will float up to the sky. But for now, just engage, or let's see how high we can lift our leg. Up and down for 8, 7, 6. Don't forget to breathe. 5, 4. You might want to lean back, but don't do it. 3, 2, and then find your max and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, right? 3, 2, and then a hold for 4. I like the shaking. 3, 2, and then maybe higher. Ah! Lower it down. Good work. So now you can give yourself a massage. So you might have felt this in your quad muscle, in your hip crease, also maybe side here, and that's all your hip flexor muscle, lifting that leg 90 degrees or higher. Right now, left leg gets to relax.
Yo.
Right leg's turn. So again, sitting up tall, fingertips pressing down on either side of that working leg. Here we go, sending energy out for that heel. Up and down, 8, 7, 6, don't forget to breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then find your max and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, good work, 4, 3, 2, then hold for 4. Keep sending energy out. 3, engage your quad. 2, maybe inhale higher. Exhale, float that leg down. Give yourself a massage. Yeah, these ones always make me laugh uncontrollably. All right, friends. We've done our right leg, or left leg. We've done our right leg. Now we must lift both legs at the same time magically. So, you have your small V. You've got now energy shooting out through both of your heels. Fingertips will rest in the center. You're gonna wanna lean back, like this is gonna happen. But try to fight it. You wanna lean yourself forward, lifting up out of your waist, pressing down to go up. So again, if nothing happens, just engage those muscles and eventually the legs will lift. Let's do 5 with a pulse for 5 and a hold for 5. Here we go. Up and down for 5, 4, good work. 3, 2, and then hold and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, maybe higher. Excellent work. And then you can give yourself a massage. Good work. So that was my favorite one because not only does it strengthen your hips and your hip flexors, it lengthens your hamstrings at the same time. So eventually this one will get you to have that leg up by your ear if that's one of your goals. Fun party tricks. All right, so your legs are in the small V. Energize them again. So engage the quad muscles to get your legs straight. Keep sending energy out through your heels. Fingertips are back into the center. And we're going to stir again with our chest. So take it slowly. Use your breath. So inhale as you stir forward. Exhale as you go back. And keep energizing your legs. So you should feel like your legs are pressing down into the floor. And you're able to move yourself around independently of your legs. Sometimes this happens too. Try to keep the chest lifted like you're gonna put your chin onto the computer. Then reverse the direction of your circles. Keep sending that energy out through your heels. Keep breathing. Good work. Okay, 2 more circles. And then shake out your legs. Okay, we're gonna end up with a little bit on the floor, but a little bit of abs to get there. So we're gonna have our legs extended out in front in a pike position. Feet fully flexed. Again, energize your legs. Your quad muscles are engaged to keep your knees straight. And you're gonna squeeze your legs together if you can. Bring your arms out like a zombie with your palms down. Start with a straight spine and an inhale. On your exhale, curve your spine. Belly button pulls deep toward your spine, chin goes into your chest, and you roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. If your shoulders are in your, try to relax them. And try not to crash all the way down to the floor. Hey, boo mom. Once you get to the floor, bring your knees into your chest. Place 1 hand on either knee and stir your knees out and around. And try to relax your hips and just use your strong arms to do this movement. And hopefully your hips feel a little bit looser than they did at the beginning of class. Reverse the direction of your circles. Don't forget to breathe. And then that's it. So at this point, if you're feeling like you're done, you can just take a rest. Relax, take a few breaths, allow your body to reset after all that hard work. Or if this is just the beginning of your workout, you're ready to do something else, you can do that now, but hopefully your hips feel really good. If you have any questions about anything that you've done, I'd be happy to answer. You can contact me on Facebook or Instagram or anything. And hopefully I'll see you every weekday. I'm going to try to do this every weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope everyone has a good day. Stay healthy.